fans, and welcome back to the Tarantula Cave for another amazing adventure in Arachnoland. This is a very special collaboration. I am collaborating with my friend Gar from predatororpreyonline, who is a tarantula expert as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, he would deny it because no one says they're an expert unless they want a massive ribbing, but as far as I'm concerned, if Gar doesn't know about it, then it's not worth knowing. Right, what's this all about? Well, this is Pterinopelma Sazimai 101. I am hoping to share with you everything you would need to know about this amazingly beautiful species in a very short amount of time. I hope you enjoy it. Let's do some fun facts. Fact number 1. Pterinopelma Sazimai is named after Dr. Ivan Sazima, who was the first person to discover this species in 1971. Fact number 2. Pterinopelma Sazimai was described in 2011 by Rogerio Bertani, Roberto Nagahama and Caroline Fukushima. Fact number 3. Pterinopelma Sazimai is a terrestrial but opportunistically burrowing species. Fact number 4. Pterinopelma Sazimai is a New World species that comes from the Bahia region of Brazil, which is why its common name is the Brazilian blue. Fact number 5. This is a fast species in my experience. They can move very quickly when they want to. They can be quite defensive as well. Neither of the two that I have are particularly friendly, and this species also has urticating setae, so you will get hairs kicked at you if you get them upset. With those fun facts out of the way, let's take a look at my female. So I guess you don't want to eat. Care-wise, they're a really easy species as an adult. You just need to keep the water dish full so they've got enough access to water. Obviously feed them. In terms of temperature, pretty much room temperature is fine for them. They don't have any particular temperature requirements. So they are a great species in terms of husbandry because they don't have anything too particular that would make them difficult to keep. As I said before, this is an opportunistic burrowing species, so if you provide enough hides, they won't bother to burrow. Here's my female setup, and she's absolutely fine in it. Those of you who've been subscribed to my channel for a while, and if you aren't, please do, will remember that I was given a male Pterinopelma Sazimai by a guy called Brandon to do a live pairing with, which I did, and it was successful as far as I understand. The male is still with me, which is great news, and I'd like to share him with you now. It's Gar time.
It's Gar from predatororpreyonline. I run another tarantula YouTube channel like Martin, the Tarantula Cave. We're going to talk about Pterinopelma Sazimai, so the Brazilian blue tarantula, and Martin's trying to breed his at the moment, and I have bred them in the past, so I thought it would be good for me to show you a bit about it. So I want to show you a highlight reel first of my breeding last year. Now I'm going to talk a bit about spiderling care. So Pterinopelma as spiderlings are a bulletproof species. They really are. They're quite a slow growing species, but when it comes to their actual care themselves, it's really simple. So these here are a tray of Pterinopelma Sazimai spiderlings, or Brazilian blue spiderlings from my breeding last year. These are the ones that I'm keeping to grow on myself. And it needs to do a little bit of maintenance inside them because they were fed now last week, and if there's anything left in there obviously for the week, then it's kind of moulded over. I'll just remove that. So to keep them, you can have very small pots. Now literally all these need is a deli pot this size or smaller, and I'll show you why in a second. Ventilation across the top and a little bit on the sides there, but the ventilation on the top is the most important. They don't need cross ventilation. So this one is actually molted. Let me just take a little bit of fuzz, a bit of old food out. You should be able to see a molt here. So that's literally how small they are. There's a molt here, and the actual spider is here. Look. And it was just, and there's a bit of tiny mealworm it was feeding on. See it running around? Now this spiderling is over a year old now, and it hasn't grown that much at all. I'll show you some bigger ones, and from the same breeding that are literally, they're a lot bigger. Now whether this is because the males grow faster from the same egg sac, or whether this is just a run to the litter, I don't know. Again, let's just it's got a little bit of fuzz. I might change this enclosure out, so get rid of that. Pop them there for a sec. Okay, so same species of spider. Spiders here. This one, much bigger. Maybe 3 times the size of the other. Now I feed these squat maggots, or the tiniest little mealworms that I can find in my mealworm farm. Or they'll take larger mealworms if you cut them up. So at this size, a water dish is not necessary. Make sure I do is when I do give them a spray, I'll just spray them on the sides. So there is like droplets of water on the side of the tub, and they'll drink that. But at this point in their lives, they usually just get their moisture from the prey that they consume. Awesome little things, aren't they? Now you can pick these pots up from eBay, dirt cheap, really cheap. and I bought hundreds of them. But yeah, so as it comes for spiderlings, they're literally one of the easiest spiderlings to keep. Again, thanks for having me. Stay safe everyone, cheers.
Didn't I tell you he knows what he's talking about? What an absolute legend. Massive thanks to Gar for collaborating with me on this. I wish I had the knowledge that he has about tarantulas. It's a massive learning curve and I can only hope to learn some of it. Really, really glad to consider him a friend, and we will be doing more in the future, I have no doubt. To finish off, so we've covered the sort of fun facts, we've covered how you look after the slings, we've covered a bit of like Gar's breeding experience and the egg sac removal and all that, which is fantastic. The only thing we haven't covered is mating them, and I've basically taken like all the footage from my live breeding attempt and I've condensed it into the best bits, and that's what we're going to finish with. So roll the tape. I really hope you guys found that useful. If you were interested in this species at all, then there should be plenty in there for you to take home and help you guys out with planning your setups and how to look after them and maybe breeding them in the future. I really want to do more of these collaborations with other people who know about particular species, because I think it's so useful for beginner hobbyists to get that information. I know that when I got into the hobby, I was desperate for videos like this, so you know, hopefully it's good. As always, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Please hit the notification bell icon to get regular updates on when my videos come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.